Greetings and salutations, how's everybody doing? And welcome to Star Trekking with a Noob. Yeah, I finally made up a title for this. So yeah, which is pretty cool. So today we're going to talk about Star Trek again. And today's episode we're going to be discussing is the Menagerie, Part 1 and Part 2. So Part 1 and Part 2 are the 11th and 12th episodes of the first season of Star Trek. That was written by Gene Roddenberry and directed by Mark Daniels, was Part 1, and Robert Butler directed Part 2. So in the episode, Spock abducts his former commander Christopher Pike, locks the Enterprise on a course to the forbidden planet Talos 4, and turns himself in for court-martial, where he presents an elaborate story explaining his actions. So the episode uses basically the Menagerie was created as a means to reuse footage from the episode The Cage. It was the unaired 1965 pilot episode of Star Trek. So it was able to frame a story as the early history of the Enterprise. Apparently the episode got a Hugo Award for Best Dramatic Presentation. And in that way, this episode is the first time we get a story involving Spock trying to give his reasons for doing something that's solely based on him, instead of in the past we've had stories that dealt with all the characters. This is the first time, I believe, having a story that deals with mainly Spock, as well as the character of Christopher Pike. And honestly, I like the way Pike is used, in the fact that he is considered and now after he was in an accident, well, he got into a wreck or something like that. Now he's enabled. He's in a kind of almost like a wheelchair. He can only talk through beeps. One beep means yes, two beeps means no. And basically, what a way I was able to get from trying to decipher this episode was Spock is trying to, in a way, reach out to an old friend in a way, and basically the metaphor I got for this episode was that Pike, even though he can still communicate, he's sort of like a person that has gotten old, has in a way gotten through past his years and is in a retirement sort of way. I sort of saw that the reason Spock is doing this because he's trying to help. Talos 4 is allowed not to go because of episodes of The Cage. Well, keep in mind The Cage was not not shown. And I thought it was clever, the way they used the footage, and also how instead of in the original episode, the one we're not really going to talk about The Cage, but I like the way it is used and used as a framing device. Well, in the end of the episode, instead of because Pike suddenly realized he wants to go back there because the trying to think, what is the name of those aliens? The Talosians basically say, hey, we have been projecting these images And basically this is a way of trying to bring Captain Pike back. And in a way, this is sort of like a, like how like in sometimes as people get older, they like to reminisce about their youth, about the good times. I feel like this is in a way like a metaphor for aging. Like looking at the good times, even though like this would be considered like say an example of Pike as like like remember what he could do, how he was adventurous, like what he did, how he was a bit of a hero. I mean that's just what I got from it. And supposedly the episode had even got hit an award. It won a Hugo Award for Best Dramatic Presentation. And I thought it was really good. Heck, I even thought the fact that they have the what was it the name again, the Talusians, how basically they say, hey, thank you for bringing Captain Pike back. And they even have the illusion, the whole court martial, that was an illusion in general. So that basically they will be able to help basically like Pike is wanting to have a delusion of a normal life in a way. No. Because that's what he was wanting. He's, disabled. He's wanting to look back and, be with Vina. Well, and so, yeah. And I actually think having this as a story way of telling the cage, I think this actually works better in a way. Because, it helps, with Pike's character. It makes him, just... I mean, we didn't really know about Pike until, until this episode. Heck, until, probably, if looking back at the time, we probably didn't know that Spock had a previous captain. But, I mean, overall, I think this episode is rather good. And, yeah, I recommend it. I think it's pretty good. But what do you think of the Menagerie Part 1 and Part 2? Do you like it? Do you think it's good? Do you think it's bad? Put your thoughts in the comments down below. Let me know. And as always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.